It did not take long for the right wing to do what they have done time and time again. Conservative Trump supporter who supplied buses of insurrectionists to the Capitol, Charlie Kirk, MAGA doofus, and Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Brian Paul Smith, who claims to be a Cheviot City Council member who puts others in harm's way while documenting himself being distracted while on the road, played up the same rhetoric Kirk took up, as did Mehmet Oz clone Dr. Drew, who now stars for The Daily Wire, a network Ben Shapiro founded. As many know, Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest in the first quarter of Monday Night Football and was administered CPR for 9 minutes. Hamlin is 24 years old, yet the right-wing kooks did their best to administer fear for their own self-interest. As Hamlin's heartbeat was restored on the field and the Bills' safety was rushed to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, folks who think like Kirk are believing in his messaging.
Let me even show you a photo, if I may, okay? Do you truly, in your heart of hearts, truly believe that this is a human being? This?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt?
Yes.
This is a dolphin fetus.
So let me...
Without a doubt, a dolphin fetus is a human being.
And of course, will always be made a fool of, like here from our very own Ben Glebe. Kirk, like many others who peddle in misinformation for political clout and financial gain, tweeted after Hamlin went down, "This is a tragic and all too familiar sight right now. Athletes dropping suddenly. There is a reason why they write athletes dropping. We'll get into that in a moment." Eric Shun would reply to Nick Adams's tweet, who's a tool, stating, "Crazy how this never happened before the vaccine." Joey Gilbert wrote, "There have been too many recent died suddenly cases to deny it anymore. This is not normal." Gilbert, like many others with this thinking on life, believed his own election was rigged. Gilbert ran for governor in Nevada and lost to Joe Lombardo, a fellow Republican. Gilbert relied on testimony from Edward Solomon, identified by the suit as an expert mathematician, who has alleged since the 2020 election that algorithms have been responsible for switching votes in multiple states. The judge said, like many other cases of election fraud, well, it lacked actual evidence. Then there's Lauren Witzke.
And in regards to women voting, that was the worst thing that ever happened to America, too.
Who shares the mic with an alleged groper of women, Elijah Schaffer, who was fired from The Blaze. Witzke, who has a rap sheet of her own and uses the N-words in her tweets until her Twitter was taken down, follows white nationalist accounts, believes in schmooanon, has joked about deportations, and is friends with Nick Fuentes. Incumbent Senator Chris Coons beat Witzke in a landslide in their 2020 election for the seat. She linked the vaccine to Damar Hamlin's injury, which occurred in the first quarter after a collision with 6'4", 219-pound wideout T. Higgins of the Cincinnati Bengals. Stu Peters, a MAGA influencer who platformed Stella Emanuel, who, by the way, praised hydroxy and says that face masks aren't necessary to stop transmission. I mean, you get it. Plus stating irrational claims of alien DNA and the physical effects of having sex with witches and demons in your dreams. So, a winner. Peters is a COVID denier, has called for unaliving Dr. Anthony Fauci, and is an alleged domestic abuser, while also being convicted of theft, arrested for impersonating a police officer, and robbery, though the charges were later dropped. You likely know where this is going. Of course, Peters, like others on the right, linked Hamlin's hit and him suffering cardiac arrest on the field on Monday Night Football to the COVID-19 vaccine. Grant Stinchfield, a conspiracy theorist Trump bootlicker who was previously with NRA TV, now defunct, blamed the vaccine and the National Football League, spreading more disinformation and fear. Since 2021, Kirk, like plenty others amongst the right wing, has shared unverified reports of side effects allegedly caused by the COVID-19 vaccines, once saying that he wasn't anti-vaccine in general, but that he was against the mandating of the COVID-19 vaccine. Philip Bump of the Washington Post wrote, "The first is the purported connection between athletes dropping and coronavirus vaccines. In short, a number of injuries, illnesses, and unexpected performances have been linked without evidence to the athletes as having been vaccinated. It's quite explicitly cherry-picking. Anything even remotely linked to circulatory issues has been lumped into a vast just asking questions universe of suspicion, generally by those on the political right." The thing is, This happening with athletes is nothing new. You can go back to Hank Gathers in 1990. He unfortunately passed away after suffering cardiac arrest during the NCAA tournament. You could go to Fabrice Muamba in 2012, Bolton Wanderers against Tottenham, FA Cup. You can go to, more recently, Christian Eriksen. You can go to the NHL with Jay Bouwmeester. You can go even years prior to that in the NHL with Chris Pronger when he took a slap shot to his chest. And yet still, they will go to this. They will go to this degree. It is inhumane and it is incredibly disrespectful, not just to the star player, but also the player's family and his team. Be better.